It's a brand new day with Mo and News. It's time to have your say. She's got the scoop, the stories, all the latest trends. Mo's got the news, let's hear it, my dear friends. From politics to showbiz, no story's too small. Mo covers it all. She's got the inside call, her voice so smooth, like honey in the summer sun. With Mo on the mic, you know the news is always fun. Mornings with Mo, the best newsy news in the world. With her style so classic and her stories unfurled. From morning till night, she's got us in the know. Turn on your radio, let Mo's newsy news flow.
Welcome, everyone. It is Turkey Eve. It is the 27th of November. I hope that everyone's having a great morning. Thank you, Wolfram, for doing your Modly Mod stuff. Welcome, Alice G, Colorado Mountain Girl. You are doing what I should probably be doing right now, if I were honest. Welcome, Tammy Bogard, and Swifty, and everyone, and Tammy. Good morning. So our first story today is that there is a humpback whale under one of New York City's bridges. In a surprise appearance, the expert has a warning for local fishermen. Well, probably don't try to catch a whale would be that warning. But I haven't read the article, so let's get in and see. A whale, that's not something you see every day. A humpback whale made a shocking splash beneath the Brooklyn Bridge on Monday, marking the species' first visit to the East River in 2 years. Quote, "It's much, much more common to see them in the ocean along the coastline. We've only had a rare case of them moving into the river, but it does happen," Danielle Brown, Gotham Whales Director of Research, told the Post. So there you go. Whale. One second. I have a cat who's like, if you do not let me out of this room. My cats are like, not furry servant. What are you doing with your life? Come help me. A lone snapshot of the whale showed it slapping its impressive fluke against the choppy waters around 4 p.m. as the iconic bridge looms in the distance. Other reports indicate that the humpback whale also swam through Buttermilk Channel, a narrow passage between Governor's Island and Red Hook, roughly 40 miles from where whales typically feed around Rockaway Beach. Brown theorizes that the whale might have simply been hunting down a meal. Atlantic Menhaden, a favorite snack for humpbacks, is commonly found in that waterway, as well as white perch, striped bass, flounder, black sea bass, and more. Whales typically avoid the city epicenter. The whales sound smarter to me than people that live in New York. And I'm sure I have someone who listens that's from New York. And as the eternal introvert, New York sounds like the mix of all the terrible things in life. Too many people, too many noises, too many smells, too much everything. But I get, if it is your jam, if you love New York, then you do you. I just know for me, it would be a hard pass. Whales typically follow fish wherever they need to go, so sometimes that does mean heading north into the river. It just doesn't happen, often, an expert said. Now, she did describe the sighting as totally out of the ordinary. She recalled the last time a humpback made an appearance in the East River was in 2022. Before that, the last humpback was seen basking near Hudson Bay back in 2020. It's been a couple years, but we have records of interesting species in the Hudson River. For example, there have been a lot of dolphin sightings in the Hudson River over the years, so we do know it's possible for these species to move in that direction. Of course, it's always a surprise, especially when it comes to these whales. Unfortunately, there were no visible identifying features captured by the lone image of Monday's visitor, making it impossible for whale experts to confirm the humpback's age or length, but based on its predecessors that have frequented the area in the past, Brown estimates that it was a juvenile between 25 and 35 feet long. As of Monday afternoon, there have been no other reported sightings of the whale, but that doesn't mean it's ditched the Big Apple for deeper waters. The last few visiting humpbacks spent several days in the rivers before moving back out to sea, meaning the visitor could still be eating a bunch of fish under the Brooklyn Bridge. So there we go. A humpback, he's come in, he's like, send me your pumpkin pie. And if you send me Cool Whip instead of Ready Whip, that is a big debate among a lot of families. And I didn't realize there was a difference until my stepfather joined our family, because we'd always just gotten Cool Whip with our pumpkin pie. Like my mom was like, one less thing to buy. Here's, one Cool Whip for the 5-cup salad and one Cool Whip for the pie. And my stepfather looked at that and he's like, do we have Ready Whip? So just like there are, mayonnaise fights in families as far as Dukes or, Miracle Whip not being mayonnaise, not being a deviled egg person, I don't really care either way. But apparently it is pretty much like there are some family fights over this. In our next story, well, FAFO. Apparently, this CEO fired 90% of his staff for missing a morning meeting, and he stands by his choice. Well, I mean, if you have a meeting and you're told to be there and you don't show up, I mean, I'm kind of okay with this. Rage quitting is one thing, but one CEO has introduced a new concept, rage firing. Baldvin Odison, CEO of Wyoming-based musical instrument online storefront, The Musician Club, fired 90% of his staff, 99 out of 110 employees and freelancers, via a Slack message for missing just one morning meeting at 8:30 a.m. on Friday, November 15th. One former employee detailed the shocking event in a now-deleted post on Reddit's mildly infuriating forum. I joined an internship and an hour later, the entire team got fired, the original user wrote. Apparently he used naughty language, quote, "Get the F out. For those of you who did not show up to the meeting this morning, consider yourselves on this your official notice. You're all fired," Olson wrote in the all-team Slack. "You failed to do what you agreed to do. You failed to complete your part of the contract. You failed to show up for the meetings you were supposed to attend and work for." Odson then instructed the group, who all worked remotely, to sign out from all accounts, return any company property, and consider their contracts terminated. Quote, "I gave you an opportunity to make your life better, to work hard and grow, and yet you've shown me that you don't take this seriously," he went on. "Out of 110 people, only 11 were present this morning. Those 11 get to stay. The rest of you are terminated. Get the F out of my business right now." Many workers fired from the Musicians Club were unpaid remote part-time workers, jobs that are marketed toward classical music students looking for experience. A job listing from earlier this year for an unpaid operations manager role with the company received 51 applicants. The listing said the job would provide in-depth understanding of e-commerce operations within a competitive market, practical experience in managing and optimizing online sales platforms, and a high potential for full paid conversion in 2025. I mean, yeah, it sounds like he's not paying them. I don't know how you can run a business on, like, I'll pay you when I get the money. So Yeah, you have to separate the wheat from the chaff. Some people are really self-motivated and will get up and do this without, being able or to see the long-term potential. It does seem a little weird that these are, unpaid people. It is. So, yeah, the article goes on to say evidently Odson got what he paid for. Workers who are essentially volunteer likely don't hold themselves to the same standards as those with salary and benefits. I mean, yeah, people want to be paid. I don't understand how this entire. I don't get finance. I don't get business. I will never claim to be smart in that. If you want smart financial advice, go to Caleb Hammer, that guy who yells at people who are morons about their finances. And can I get off topic here real quick? Because I seem to have fallen down a rabbit hole with Caleb Hammer and these people who go on knowing they are making stupid mistakes and then looking all offended when he says, "You realize this is dumb as hell, right?" And she's like, they're always like this. Well, I can't give up my Uber Eats because cooking is like so expensive. Have you been to a grocery store? And and then just watching Caleb having a spaz attack when he's like, eggs, rice, potatoes, these are things that work. Why would you go on a show knowing that you suck out loud with money and you have someone who's better at it than you? Why would you go, I just can't give this up. I don't think you understand that my happiness means things. Like, I weep for the next generation. I do. Um, in another, it's not even sports ball and I don't understand it, but we have a story about chess. I will tell you guys, understand nothing about chess. I do get checkers, but that's because I don't move my back row, which is probably my only, like sage advice. Chess's next move, the future looms over the game's world championship, once again mixing its biggest star. Now, I will prepare you all for the hilarity of me trying to pronounce these names. One of the world's biggest sporting championships just got underway Monday. Okay, is chess considered a sport? I mean, I would think it would be a gaming championship, but I understand it usually has the clickety click things, controllers. But okay, it's a sporting event. Sounds good. Monday morning with reigning champion Ding Liren taking game one of the World Chess Champion at against 18-year-old phenom Gujes Damajaro. While the World Championship is still considered the chess marquee event, the absence of Norway's Magnus Carlsen, the first five-time champion who declined to defend his title in 2022, looms large. Grandmaster David Howell, a close friend of Carlsen's, who is also one of the official match competitors in Singapore, believes the World Championship still holds a special place in the chess world, but said that this year is unique. For a long time, it's been one thing that defines what has been otherwise a quite disorganized tournament system, Howell said. Normally, the World Championship is very successful at finding and celebrating the best player in the world. It's still got prestige, but this year it's a bit of a strange one. In some ways, the $2.5 million showdown between Liren, a soft-spoken assassin from China, and Gugesh, an up-and-coming prodigy from India, could be the biggest world championship yet. A chess boom during the pandemic has made the game more popular than ever, but that surge of interest has mainly been felt online. Chess.com now boasts 190 million users worldwide, up from 51 million in January 2020. The world's biggest chess platform told NBC News that 1 in 10 Americans have an account. Not me. Now, if it were Sailor Moon teaches you chess, I might be there, but only if the little chess pieces were made like Sailor Moon. Oh my God, do they have a Sailor Moon chess set? Mr. Moe said I could get one thing if I caught to 5,000. Must look to see if they have a Sailor Moon chess set. Not to play chess, but to look smart in my adult room. I'll be like Joe Rogan and people will come in as I interview them and they'll be like, "Do you play chess?" And I'll say, "No, but it's Sailor Moon." And then they'll look at me like Mr. Moe looks at me when I posit these things. So that has let it. So it looks like chess.com has also been busy organizing its own money spending tournaments, slowly encroaching on the game's governing body, the International Chess Federation, known as FIDE. That's led to growing discussion over whether the championship format, 14 games that often last more than 3 hours each, still works for a game that is often embracing quicker matches. There's a debate over whether it needs to be modernized or whether it's still the most efficient way of finding the best player in the world, Howell said. I think it does the job fantastically at that. It's no one's fault that the world's number one has stepped aside. So, looks like I know I saw that. So I will say that I'm not a big chess person, but I do know that a lot of people like it. I know that my oldest son is looking to maybe join the chess club, which would be nice because I won't have to hear about roadblocks. I can learn about bishops and uh, the small guys, the little people, pawns. I'm an expert. Y'all come to me for the news and smartness. I'm like, what are them things called on the boardy thing with the thingamabobs? Oh God, I would so die at the first year of Harry Potter. They'd be like, you have to play chess. And I'd look at them and say, have you thought about Uno? And there it is. Mo dies first year in Hogwarts. In just a butthole move, and I hope that the ghost of Christmas past haunts you. Let's see. Bah humbug. Vandal smash it. Oh, it's English, Mo. Smashes Ebenezer Scrooge's tombstone used in a Christmas Carol movie. Why do some people just have to be dicks? Like, it's not even, it's doing nothing but just vandalizing something. It's not any better when you have a, highfalutin cause or something you're trying to throw with this, but just destroying stuff because you're a dick and you want to punish the world because, your dickish behavior has caused you to maybe not have the life that you desire, so you just want to be mad at the world. If life imitates art, a vandal in the English countryside may be haunted by the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Police in the town of Shrewsbury are investigating how a tombstone that was marked with as the fictional grave of Ebenezer Scrooge was destroyed. The movie prop used in 1984's adaptation of A Christmas Carol was kept in place and became a tourist attraction. Town clerk Helen Ball said the town is discussing what should be done to fix or replace the stone that is hugely popular with residents and visitors. This time of year, organized tours of locations used in the movie visit the ground of St. Chad's Church. Wait a minute, there is a St. Chad? I must see what he is the patron saint of. Manliness and testosterone. St. Chad of barbecues. Watch me go on and on about this, and he's like the saint of like curing terrible child cancers, and I'm just making fun of St. Chad, and I have offended everyone. Kind of how things go. There's not much to see other than broken bits of gravestones, Ball told the Associated Press. You can't even see that it says Ebenezer Scrooge, At the moment, because it's so damaged, it's hugely disrespectful. The film, one of a dozen adaptations of Charles Dickinson's classic, starred George C. Scott as the cold-hearted curmudgeon. After going to sleep on Christmas Eve, Scrooge was visited by the ghosts of past, present, and future to show the error of his ways and become a kinder, more generous person. Well, I hope that they figure it out and can get it back, but I think we all need to sit in a circle and agree that Muppets Christmas Carol was the best rendition of Christmas Carol, and I will fight you on that. Change my mind. You know, it is not a holiday season unless I see the Muppet Christmas Carol. I love it. It's my favorite movie. The songs are great. The little rat store clerks. I love it. It's my favorite movie for Christmas. Michael Caine did a wonderful job. And it's so fun to see him like doing Tony British, classical acting with Muppets. Okay. Life Day was also good. But I still say that Muppets Christmas Carol is my all-time favorite Christmas movie. Other than Die Hard, but that's because I really like Alan Rickman. I mean, sir, I am willing to discuss your evil plan. Quote, "You're gonna love this. Convicted murderer used homemade key in a daring escape attempt after receiving a life sentence." Well, that is a homemade key. I've never seen a key look quite like that. A North Carolina man convicted of unaliving a 13-year-old girl in a 2018 attempted to escape police custody twice on the day he received a life sentence for his crime. Michael Ray McClellan, 40, was in court on Friday, November 22nd for sentencing after he pled guilty to unaliving Hannah Noel Aguilar. But according to police, he had an escape plan in mind the entire time he was being transported to and from the court. Using a homemade key to release himself from his leg restraints, McClellan made 2 attempts to escape before and after he appeared in court. Robeson County Sheriff Birkin Wilkins told WTVD, a local ABC affiliate, that McClellan first tried the key that he made to free himself from his leg restraints in the car on the way to the courthouse, but he was stopped by deputies when they noticed something unusual going on in the back seat. As Wilkins recounted to the Robesonian, McClelland was then being transported to and from the court. He reportedly said, quote, "You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this." The sheriff said he believed McClellan was referring to his escape plan. On the way back from court, McClellan tried again, but this time he was able to get his hands on one of the deputies' force multipliers by reaching through a ventilation hole in the plexiglass that separated the front and back seats. In his phone interview, Wilkins said the deputy slammed on the brakes and was able to get a hand on the force multiplier as it was being pulled back by McClellan. A little fight took place right there before the force multiplier, and the passenger detention officer sprayed him with pepper spray. He immediately released the force multiplier, leaned back in the car, and just said, "You got me. You got me." Wilkins added, "We knew McClelland had nothing to lose in this situation." 2 homemade keys were taken from McClellan, and guards at the central prison where McClellan was set to spend his life sentence were told about the new inmate's plans. McClellan was originally charged with first-degree murder and first-degree grape, first-degree forced SA, statutory grape of a child, statutory S offense of a child, first-degree kidnapping, felonious restraint, abduction of a child, concealing the death of a child, larceny of a motor vehicle. Sir, you should have tried to run. Sir, you unalived a 13-year-old girl after you forced yourself upon her. Prison is not going to be very kind to you, sir. I could see why you wanted to flee. However, I give you a D for effort and an F for FU. Have fun in Gen Pop, my guy. Well, do as I say, not as I do. She is her own story now. An ex-TV news anchor and her son were indicted by the DOJ over alleged COOF loan fraud. A former news anchor and her husband have been indicted by the U.S. Justice Department. Thank you, Kay, for gifting 5 memberships, and those went to Wendy Joe, Miss Upper Thigh, Jenny Allison, Magic Angel 3002, or 0302, sorry, and Cerezy. If I have messed up any of your names, I apologize. Apparently, Englishing is just not my jam today for some important reason. Because, I only read things and talk about stuff. And Wendy Joe, if I didn't say that. I think I'm over here trying to remember too many to-do lists. Executive functioning is not my jam. ADHD, we are not here with a plan. We're like, ADHD has joined the chat. Hey, remember that one time I spilled a bunch of glitter? Does that have any point to this entire thing that I'm doing right now? No, but do you remember? Well, yes, I do, but I'm trying to do something right now. That is what ADHD is like. A toddler in the back of your brain saying, hey, remember this? Or wouldn't it be cool if you did this? And I'm always like, no, I am trying to get something partially done. Could we do that? There you go. Jedi Jess, I'm glad to hear it because I'm over here like, did I like not take a med or something? And oh my gosh, yes, glitter is outlawed at my house. Glitter is outlawed at my house. It is terrible. Stephanie Hawkridge Reese, ooh, double-barreled name, 41, and Nathan Reese, 45, are alleged to have submitted false and fraudulent applications for the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP, loans from the federal government for themselves and their business, even though they were not eligible. Hawkridge Reese, a former news anchor for ABC 15 TV in Phoenix, and her husband co-founded Blue Acorn, a lender service provider that was purportedly founded to help small businesses and individuals obtain COVID-19 relief funds. Oh, so you decided to help the little people and help yourself? According to federal prosecutors, Hawkridge Reese and Reese fabricated documents such as payroll records, tax documentation, and bank statements in order to obtain the loans. The Justice Department alleged that the couple charged clients illegal fees for their services based on a percentage of the funds received. The two also are alleged to have recruited people to work as referral agents who then coached borrowers on how to submit false PPP loan applications. In order to obtain a greater volume of kickbacks from borrowers and a percentage of lender fees from the Small Business Administration. Thank you, Swifty. We are in retrograde. That's why we are discombobulated. That makes sense. I should have known Mercury was involved in all of this. Although, what happens if Mars goes into retrograde? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm a Sagittarius, if I'm honest. I'm just kidding. I'm a Cancer. But I love to say that sometimes. The DOJ complaint doesn't cite the exact dollar figure for the fraud allegedly perpetuated by the couple, but the problem is that they took money that could have helped real small businesses. I don't find the government to be efficient or, actually give money to the people that need it. in the right way, but these people actively went out and schemed and took it away from people that could have used this, the small businesses, the main streets, the people that kept their doors open. But these people were like, we can lie and we can teach you how to lie. In 2022, a congressional panel issued a report that found that Blue Acorn took in more than $300 million in profits. The company told lawmakers that it collected more than $1 billion in fees for processing PPP applications, but that it also had around $700 million in expenses. The report alleged that Blue Acorn did not prioritize small businesses and instead sought to obtain loans for the largest clients in order to earn higher commissions. Hawkridge Reese and Reese are also alleged to have personally collected $300,000 in PPP loans that were not facilitated by their own company, according to a report by the Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Crisis. Individuals who reviewed loan applications for Blue Acorn told congressional investigators that they were to place a greater emphasis on speed rather than vetting when applications were legitimate, according to the Arizona Republic. I mean, I don't believe in prioritizing the biggest loans over the smallest, but there should be some understanding that as we get started, closing these monster loans will help everyone get paid. She said in a Slack message obtained by the committee. In another Slack message obtained by congressional investigators, Hawkridge Reese wrote, "Delete them, small loans. Who the F cares? We're not the first bank to decline borrowers who deserve to be funded." Her husband is alleged to have filled out a loan application in which he falsely claimed to be African American and a veteran. Let's go to the... Sir, I have some questions. A lot of them. Unless you are Elon Musk African American, I'm not sure that this is going to work out for you, sir. Contact information for the couple's lawyer was not immediately available. I mean, I could see you being a veteran of Call of Duty, sir. But there are mean 12-year-olds on there, so I don't know that you lasted long. What in the name of Hades is going on? In another Arizona story, but this one kind of a fun one, the oldest known firearm in the U.S. was unearthed in Arizona. A bronze cannon recently recovered by researchers in Arizona appears to be the oldest known firearm ever found in the continental United States. According to experts, analysts indicate that the 40-pound weapon was likely owned by one of history's most famous and notorious conquistadors, although he may have never fired it in battle. In 1539, Valdez de Coronado mortgaged his wife's belongings. His wife's belongings? You know, the wife had to be sitting there thinking, you know, I know that I am just chattel, but I brought all this stuff with me. The hell you're going to put a loan on my crown and I don't know what they used. Like my bottles of rum? How dare you? Then he decided to, use this to finance an expedition to North America. The Spanish conquistador and 350 of his soldiers intended to locate the legendary and unfortunately non-existent seven cities of gold somewhere in the north of Mexico. Instead of untold riches, Coronado and his men spent 3 years plundering, unaliving their way across the region. Coronado ended his expedition in Mexico City, bankrupt and facing war crime charges, but his influence on North America would linger for generations. The conquistador and his remaining men didn't pack all of their belongings before returning to the then Spanish settlement, however. According to the authors of the study, published in November 21st of this particular year, the International Journal of Historical Archaeology, one site in particular, has yielded numerous artifacts linked to the explorers. In the ruins of a stone and adobe structure located in Arizona's Santa Cruz Valley, researchers discovered jars, and glass shards, European pottery, and weapon components, including the 42-inch long bronze cannon. Also known as the wall gun, an early firearm required two operators and was well, unless you've got, oh gosh, Jesse Ventura and you're taking out Predator. He's like, I don't have time to bleed. Please tell me a conquistador said that. I just need that in my head canon. In Coronado's case, however, such a cannon would have been used for offensive purposes, usually to blast through thinner walls of structures in indigenous settlements. Radiocarbon dating and optically stimulating luminescence methods allowed the archaeologist to date the cannon to Coronado's time, while other artifacts matched accounts of his expedition's materials and belongings. Unlike more ornate Spanish cannons, however, the wall gun's plain casing indicates that it may have actually been constructed in Mexico or the Caribbean, or may have even been purchased from Ponce de Leon's preceding expedition. According to researchers, historical records show that the settlement where they discovered the wall gun was at one point attacked by Sobrepiri Odaham locals, forcing Spanish explorers to retreat. Additionally, there were discoveries of lead shot and arrowheads at the archaeological site that corroborate this account, although it's unknown why the wall cannon was apparently never used. Well, I have no idea other than maybe it was too effing heavy and they only had one guy. That would be my guess, but I could be wrong on that. They're kind of cute for rabbit, kangaroo rodents. I mean, they're kind of cute. But apparently there is a new caravan in town in the deserts of Dubai, a family of rodents from Argentina. How the hell did the rodents get there from Argentina? I guess I'll have to read. If he would like, I definitely can make that happen if he would like, but I don't want to, pressure him to be on if he doesn't want to. A desert oasis hidden in the dunes in the far reaches of the skyscraper-studded Dubai has drawn a surprising new set of weary world travelers, a pack of Argentinian rodents. A number of Patagonian mara, a rabbit-like mammal with long legs, big ears, and a body like a hoofed animal, now roam the grounds of Al-Qahidar Lakes, typically home to gazelle and other desert creatures of the United Arab Emirates. How they got there remains a mystery in the UAE, a country where exotic animals have ended up in private homes and the farms of the wealthy. But the pack has already survived several years in a network of warrens among the dunes. The UAE's Climate Change and Environmental Ministry and authorities in Dubai did not respond to questions from the Associated Press about the Patagonian mara's presence. One estimate suggests that there may be as many as 200 that could be thriving in the area, and the wider El Marmoum Desert Conservation Reserve nearby, as only a few dead maras have been found. An AP journalist happened upon at least 5 maras on a recent visit to Al-Qahida Lakes, a vast desert area some 40 kilometers or 25 miles south of downtown Dubai. On another visit, he saw multiple packs of the animals, including one mother still nursing a baby. The lakes sit on the end of a long bicycle track popular in the winter months and draws campers and others who enjoy the outdoors in cooler weather among the area's lakes. Some have been man-made into the shape of a crescent moon, 2 hearts, or even an advertisement for Dubai's Expo 2020. Patagonian maras first publicly appeared in 2020 during the height of the coup. A request for information on their sightings first made a summertime issue of Dubai's Natural History Group's monthly newsletter, with volunteers describing them as being seen both at the lakes and on a nearby Saidit. island near the country's capital of Abu Dhabi. This large rodent has a common species in zoological collections and undoubtedly found its way out of captivity, wrote Jackie Judas, who long studied mammals in the UAE, in a chapter in a recent book, A Natural History of the Emirates. They regularly can be seen sleeping or eating grass in the middle of roundabouts in Al Qaharda. The species is not adapted to live in an arid environment, though in the absence of its usual predator, like puma, it can survive in highly modified habitats with tree plantations, lawns, and ponds. That's the exact environment found by the lakes, likely contributing to the Mara's continued survival, where despite temperatures in the UAE regularly reaching 45 degrees Celsius or 113 degrees in Fahrenheit in the summer with high humidity. Holy God, no. 113 and high humidity, that's going to be a off my bucket list kind of experience. The number also suggests that they are breeding like, well, rabbits. I mean, this looks like a mutant deer rabbit. Changed my mind. A mutant deer rabbit, I'm kind of kangaroo. And is that one pooping on camera? That's not a tail. Dear God. National Geographic, do better. Now, the animals can be hunted for their fur and eaten. That's what people do in Argentina. While the Patagonian maras are herbivores and pose no threat to humans, they likely will have few predators in the lake. The Arabian red fox do live and hunt in those areas. However they got there remains a mystery. Maras are on display at the children's section of the Dubai Safari Park Zoo, but at the same distance from the lake as downtown. There are surrounding tracks and farms owned by Dubai's elite near the lakes, which suggests that maybe they escaped. They're someone's pets that got out. And y'all, this is how we end up with alligators in the sewer. I did not know these rodents exist, but their deer-like visages make me scared. And y'all know that we can't end a show without a crazy deer, thing. So let's see if CBTV is going to strike me. So there is, stop. Okay. So there is a deer wandering around in a safety or high-vis vest. I can only assume that he is their OSHA person. It did stop. I didn't want to get... I don't know how CTV News, Canadian TV News, would be upset if I did. But he's there to maintain safety. He's like, we got a lot of compliance violations last year. Would y'all stop jaywalking? And Leroy, stay out of people's trash. This is why they want to come hunt us. Residents of northern British Columbia community are trying to solve the mystery of how a local deer got into a high visibility vest. Andrea Arnold, a McBride resident who works for Rocky Mountain Goat, a newspaper, snapped photos when she spotted the deer walking around wearing the unusual garment. Quote, they're everywhere around town, but this one was wearing a high vis. I did a double, triple take. Like, wait, what am I actually seeing here? Arnold told CTV News. Local resident Joe Rich, who also spotted the deer, said the animal would not have been able to don the vest without help. Now, can you imagine the on-the-spot reporter? Okay, Joe, what do you have to say about the deer? And he's like, well, I don't want to be a conspiracy theory or nothing, But I don't think he got in that vest alone. I think he had help. This is why I couldn't be a reporter, because I'd be like, did you just hear the words that came out of your mouth? Would you like to rethink your answer at any point? It's zipped right up. He told CBS, he's like, now I'm not a, I'm not a veterinarian or nothing, but I don't think he was able to zip it himself. Rich said someone had to tackle this thing, put a jacket on it. At first I thought maybe he got tangled up on in it, but on second glance that's not the case. How much beer was involved in putting the the, the deer in a high vis thing? Sergeant Edmund MacArthur with the BBC Conservation Officer Service said an investigation has been opened and the officers are determining what, if anything, to do about the vest wearing deer. Quote, I don't even want to speculate on how that might have happened. Oh no, I'd like all the speculation. I mean, how much beer did it take for someone to say, you know what, George? I bet you couldn't get a safety vest on a deer. And George was like, you get me a 38 pack of Natty Light for $5.50. I'll show you how to put a vest on a deer. And that's when you know that he was too drunk, because he asked for Natty Light. Natural Light, for those of you who are out of high school and college, where you can get 36 cans of something that approximates beer for $5. Gotta love natural ice when you're a college student. Even if you can get close enough to wildlife to put it in a sweater or a jacket or boots or what have you, we highly recommend against it. Dude, you just gave them ideas. Now we're going to see, eagles with little ascots. We're going to see squirrels with, Sherlock Holmes hats. I mean, it's going to be lit. So, a little bit of housekeeping. I am supposed to be having a shenanigan stream with the expert at noon, so I am going to be setting that stream up. And in other news, I have finished up the script. Yes, you are watching the slow and inevitable descent into me becoming the discount casual criminalist for the second episode in the John Benet Ramsey case. And the script is a jaw-dropping 33 pages.
Why did you say four? The cat or cat? You meant for the cat?
So there you go. Hopefully, we will get that going and we will have a fun time with the expert. I will be getting a thumbnail for that and everything set up. I will try to do the stream of episode 2 probably tomorrow. After we do all this stuff, we kind of just go to our separate corners of the house. Yes, the ferals are... get my fake glasses off. Get... Yes, you are very funny. I have a bunch of fake glasses. You guys see them all the time, but he was running in to steal fake glasses because youngest most feral comes into my room to steal snacks and things. I don't know where I was, but I know that I will probably be doing an episode stream either tomorrow or Friday. I do not partake in the Black Friday shenanigans. I am all about Cyber Monday. In fact, that is the reason that I don't sign up for Walmart Delivers, because I'm pretty sure that if given the chance, I would just never leave my house and I would become Howard Hughes Well, okay, Howard Hughes minus like the Kleenex boxes, the weird fingernails, and collecting my own urine. But given the choice, if I could avoid peopling, I would, and it's bad. So I am going to let you guys go because I do need to run to that, well, den of cray-crayness, which is, Walmart, because I forgot several things, and apparently we need milk. Oh, can I show you guys this? So Mr. Mo got his technically impaired wife. He said all this time, and I feel so bad because I have no desire to do this, but he got this electronical thing that updates to-do list from both our computer and our phones and everything else. And I'm like, I don't want Skynet to know that I need new deodorant, Band-Aids, and, razors. I don't want Skynet to know these things. And he's like, really? And I was like, okay, well, also I just suck out loud at computers. But he's very, very excited. So I'm going to try to use the, thing instead of using a Post-it note. I'm going to try. I may never, ever come back from Walmart because I'm going to forget what I needed. I will see you guys in a little bit with the expert. Have a wonderful day. Let me see who I can send you guys off to, because I am semi-professional some days. Some days. Would you guys like to go to Legal Vices, Legal Mindset, or Storm Chaser Brandon? Because we've got a lot of snow coming up. I am going to send you guys to... Oh, I guess the Snow Chaser is coming up. So I will send you guys over to Legal Vices. He is covering the Leilani Simon case. Send him over. Tell him we are... Well, I know it's not a great case, but give him some support. I'm going to go get off to get stuff that I forgot to pick up when I was supposed to remember to pick it up. So God only knows how my little checklist is going to help when I forget things as soon as I enter a room. So thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with me as I apparently just had all of the breakdowns in how to read English. I intend to do better, and then join me for the shenanigans stream with the expert. It's the expert, it's me, which means that we will be tangenting like fiends. Don't expect to be able to follow the conversation. It's just going to be 99% tangents. Bye, you guys. Have a wonderful day, and if I don't see you tomorrow, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And if you are in a place where you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, have a wonderful Thursday. Bye, you guys.